This is News 8 Now at noon.
Good afternoon, and thank you for watching News 8 Now. I'm Sophia Pullman. You may want to cancel your travel plans for the rest of the week. Some heavy snowfall is coming to our area tomorrow night. Let's check in with our first alert meteorologist, Derek Sibley. What's going on, Derek?
Hey, Sophia. Yeah, so we are watching a winter storm system that is still expected to impact the Coulee region starting as early as tomorrow afternoon. And it looks like it's going to be a bit of a long duration because we're talking about tomorrow night as well as also into Friday. Right now, we're watching a weak disturbance, not necessarily associated with this storm system impacting us for tomorrow, but you can see already some light snow showers mainly to the north. But these are probably very, very light, that they're not even making it down to the ground. That's at least according to some of the weather observations up to the north around the Chippewa Valley. But we'll continue to monitor this here over the next couple of hours. In the meantime, it's cloudy with temperatures right now into the low to mid 40s, 38 in Eau Claire and 45 currently in La Crosse is what we currently have here at the moment with those cloudy skies, as you can see there from City Cam 8 in downtown La Crosse. Not a lot of sunshine really to work with. So here's what you can expect throughout the rest of the day. And overall, we're talking cloudy weather here with mild temperatures, highs in those low to mid 40s, and a light breeze here to work with as well. Keep in mind, winter storm watches are in effect for most of the Coulee region until 6 o'clock on Friday morning for heavy snow. Snowfall accumulations likely. We'll talk about that in just a bit, along with some gusty conditions. Yeah, we could be looking at wind gusts up to 35 miles an hour or so in some of these spots that could be looking at some possible hazardous winter weather. So we're going to talk a lot more about this in the weather forecast in just a few minutes. But first, we'll toss it back over to Sophia.
Up north in Chippewa Falls, police said a child made multiple 911 calls to dispatch on Tuesday. Police say they received 6 calls and heard children laughing and saying profanities on the other end of the line. One call, the child said there was a shooter in the Chippewa Falls High School's lunchroom, which was quickly confirmed the call was false. Police say they found the child making the calls. Officials say the child is too young to be charged with any crimes. Back here in Wisconsin, state Republicans could vote to block Governor Tony Evers' new vaccine policy. Under the new policy, there would be tighter chickenpox vaccine mandates, and students will be required to get vaccinated twice against meningitis. Right now, the health department requires students to get vaccinated against chickenpox in order to attend kindergarten through 6th grade. There are no vaccination requirements for meningitis. The GOP-controlled legislature is expected to vote on the policy in the upcoming days. Quality career planning, maintenance, and safety. Those are some of the areas the Tomah School District has promised to maintain if the referendum passes. The district is asking voters to exceed the revenue limit by $2.5 million over the next 4 years. The money will help offset budget deficits and increase per-student spending. The district superintendent, Dr. Mike Hansen, says this change will have little to no impact on taxpayers.
We're a very low spending district. We are the lowest in assessed taxes right now in our area at $5.91 per thousand. So the impact to our patrons is flat to neutral.
Tomah isn't the only school going to referendum multiple times. During last November's midterms, Tomah was one of 80 school referendums on the ballot, asking voters for school funding.
It is a difficult time dealing with things that are really well beyond our control, but this is one mechanism that districts have been using to meet the challenging budget scenarios that were dealt with.
The district's last 4 referendum created new positions and hired people to fill them, including 5 special ed positions, 2 elementary counselors, and a high school math teacher. The new referendum will be on the April 4th ballot. The Sparta Area School District is inviting the community to talk about the future needs of students. Today, district leaders are hosting a community engagement workshop at the high school auditorium. Anyone is invited to attend. A tour of the high school starts at 6 p.m., followed by a discussion on other facilities. Switching gears to lacrosse. If you are interested in learning more about the La Crosse School District referendum, the school district is holding an informational session about its upcoming operational referendum. The district is asking for a 6-year increase and extension of its 2018 operational referendum. Anyone can attend the session at Logan Middle School on Thursday. It starts at 6:30 p.m. There's more information on the La Crosse School District's website. Students in Bangor are celebrating the most important meal of the day. As a part of National School Breakfast Week, kitchen staff are at the middle school and high school served up a delicious meal. Staff say breakfast makes a world of a difference for kids. It helps them avoid getting hangry and stay focused throughout the school day. Kitchen manager Michelle Evanson says that some kids do skip meals and may be taking breakfast for granted.
It's not just breakfast. It's something to start their day off in the right way, the right foot. I know that some of these kids, they need that. They need that food in their stomach.
Students and staff will celebrate the National Week through Friday. We'll hear students' thoughts on the most important meal of the day tonight at 5. When we come back, the latest Norfolk Southern accident is the company's 5th since 2021. Details next. Stocks tumbled Tuesday after Federal Reserve Chairman Jeremy Powell testified before Congress that the central bank is prepared to increase the pace of interest rate hikes if needed. The Dow sank 574 points, the Nasdaq fell 145 points, and the S&P 500 dropped 62 points. CBS News' Serena Marshall has the latest business headlines from Washington.
There's been another accident involving a Norfolk Southern train in Ohio. The same company involved in that toxic train derailment last month. A 46-year-old conductor was killed yesterday in Cleveland when a dump truck crashed into the front of his train at a crossing. This is the company's 5th major accident since December of 2021. The National Transportation Safety Board, or NTSB, has launched a special investigation into Norfolk Southern's safety practices. And it's official. Yesterday, the Justice Department filed a lawsuit trying to block JetBlue's nearly $4 billion purchase of Spirit Airlines. Attorney General Merrick Garland says the merger would harm consumers seeking lower-cost flights and violate antitrust law. JetBlue argues creating the nation's 5th biggest airline could force larger carriers to cut ticket prices. And now this important consumer alert. The FDA is flagging 2 more recalls of eye drops due to contamination risks that could lead to vision problems and even blindness. PharMedica USA is recalling some of its purely soothing 15% MSM drops. That's the recall the manufacturer says is due to problems that could result in blindness. And Apotex is recalling some of its prescription eye drops used to treat glaucoma after finding cracks in some bottle caps. That's your CBS News Money Watch report. For more, log on to cbsmoneywatch.com. In Washington, I'm Serena Marshall.
As we head to break, here is a live look at the New York Stock Exchange. Stay with us. More news is next. An alarming new study shows more children are dying from poisonings related to opioids. Stephanie Stahl has more from Philadelphia.
The nation's opioid epidemic is having deadly consequences for children. A new study in the journal Pediatrics shows opioids are the most common substances leading to fatal poisonings in young children. In 2018, they accounted for 52% of deaths in children 5 and younger, a significant increase from 24% in 2005.
Even small amounts of an opioid, just because kids are smaller and weigh less, can have a much greater effect. It can change how they're able to breathe. It can change their mental status, and that can potentially be fatal.
Dr. Christopher Gaw authored the study and says within the past decade, children have been exposed to new opioid sources like heroin, fentanyl, and drug treatments like methadone and buprenorphine. At the Poison Center here at Children's Hospital Philadelphia, nurses and pharmacists field 65,000 calls each year. Other common substances, including over-the-counter pain, cold, and allergy medications, are also leading to deadly poisonings. What to do? The center is working with communities to help keep opioids and other drugs out of the reach of children in the first place.
Supervision is helpful, but it's not the end-all be-all because kids are quick and poisonings can happen in a split second. So what we recommend is that parents and families should focus on preparedness and prevention. They should keep medications and other toxic substances out of sight and out of mind.
In fact, 3/5 of poisoning deaths happened in the child's home, a wake-up call for parents and caregivers to keep their kids safe. Stephanie Stahl, CBS News, Philadelphia.
Doctors recommend if you have opioids in the home that you keep the medication naloxone in the house, which can be life-saving if a child has an overdose-related exposure. Here is a live look through CityCam 8. Derek is in next with our forecast. An alarming new study shows more children are dying from poisonings related to opioids. Stephanie Stahl has more from Philadelphia.
The nation's opioid epidemic is having deadly consequences for children. A new study in the journal Pediatrics shows opioids are the most common substances leading to fatal poisonings in young children. In 2018, they accounted for 52% of deaths in children 5 and younger, a significant increase from 24% in 2005.
Even small amounts of an opioid, just because kids are smaller and weigh less, can have a much greater effect. It can change how they're able to breathe. It can change their mental status, and that can potentially be fatal.
Dr. Christopher Gaw authored the study and says within the past decade, children have been exposed to new opioid sources like heroin, fentanyl, and drug treatments like methadone and buprenorphine. At the Poison Center here at Children's Hospital Philadelphia, nurses and pharmacists field 65,000 calls each year. Other common substances, including over-the-counter pain, cold, and allergy medications, are also leading to deadly poisonings. What to do? The center is working with communities to help keep opioids and other drugs out of the reach of children in the first place.
Supervision is helpful, but it's not the end-all be-all because kids are quick and poisonings can happen in a split second. So what we recommend is that parents and families should focus on preparedness and prevention. They should keep medications and other toxic substances out of sight and out of mind.
In fact, 3/5 of poisoning deaths happened in the child's home, a wake-up call for parents and caregivers to keep their kids safe. Stephanie Stahl, CBS News, Philadelphia.
Doctors recommend if you have opioids in the home that you keep the medication naloxone in the house, which can be life-saving if a child has an overdose-related exposure. Here is a live look through CityCam 8. Derek is in next with our forecast.
During the floor closeout sale going on now at PM Sleep Center, you can save up to 50% on select Stearns & Foster floor models. Your next mattress is at PM Sleep Center, giving La Crosse a good night's sleep for over 35 years.
Stella Jones Corporation in Bangor has immediate openings and wants you to apply. They say this job takes grit, attention to detail, and ability to work as a team. Stella Jones Corporation is where safety matters and wages sustain a comfortable living. If you have what it takes and can stand behind our railroads, then we want you to apply today. $2,500 hiring bonus.
What fireplace have you always envisioned in your home? Let La Crosse Fireplace Company turn your empty space into something beautiful. We'll design more than just your heat and glow fireplace. We'll help you pick out the perfect stone, mantle, and hearth, making your heat and glow fireplace the vision you've always dreamed of. Isn't it time you've got the space you've always wanted? Visit our showroom or call La Crosse Fireplace Company to get started. La Crosse Fireplace Company, because your place is by the fire.
What does it cost to buy off a judge? For extremist Dan Kelly, he's for sale for $20,000. In 2020, Kelly conveniently changed his mind about whether to judge the Tim Zignego case. Kelly had recused himself. Then he pocketed $20,000 in contributions from Zignego and his family, and Kelly unrecused himself so he could judge the case. Justice shouldn't be for sale. Dan Kelly is too corrupt, too extreme.
During the floor closeout sale going on now at PM Sleep Center, you can save up to 50% on select Stearns & Foster floor models. Your next mattress is at PM Sleep Center, giving Lacrosse a good night's sleep for over 35 years.
20th Annual Early Bird Home Show lowest prices of the year on 2023 projects. Only at the Board Store Home Improvements, 524 Copeland Avenue, Lacrosse. Get started today. The First Warn Weather app. Download it today. You're watching News 8 Now. Expect more.
It is International Women's Day. Many across the globe are celebrating the achievements of women and supporting action against gender equality. If your Wednesday is all booked up and can't commemorate the holiday, you can keep celebrating for the rest of the month, as it's also National Women's History Month. We asked some people in the community about women they looked up to. Stay tuned for those responses during our evening newscasts. And we're going to send it over to Derek with our weather forecast.
All right, thank you so much for that, Sophia. Sure is a very cloudy start here for the afternoon, as you can see here from us in City Cam 8 in downtown La Crosse. Here's what it currently looks like. It's 45 degrees with those cloudy skies, a feel like of 39 when you factor in the wind chill. Southeast winds at 14. We're also seeing gusts up to 26 miles an hour now at the airport. 5.38 feet is the current river stage here along the Mississippi River. Current conditions to the north in Eau Claire, 38 degrees, cloudy here. Feels like 31 degrees when you factor in the wind chill. Visibility, though, looking nice and clear at around 10 miles. Current temperatures are into the upper 30s across the Chippewa Valley, but we're seeing the mid 40s. So very warmer air is kind of focused mainly towards downtown La Crosse. And we're seeing the same thing, pretty similar conditions, at least down south. Boscobel, you're currently at 45 degrees. Our forecast highs today should make their way up into the upper 30s across our northern Chippewa Valley areas. Meanwhile, down in the south, we're looking at highs mainly into the mid 40s. In fact, we're pretty much close to that here as we head into those afternoon hours here so far. 44 degrees, cloudy skies at 3 o'clock, 41 and still very cloudy at 5. And we are going to be continuing to remain pretty overcast even as we head into early this evening at around the 7 o'clock hour. So here's a quick look at the satellite and radar picture, and you can see plenty of cloud cover and very light snow showers here, mainly focused off towards the west. And you can see that a lot of this here is very narrow. We are looking at very light snow here, so it's really not exactly making it down to the ground very much, but you can kind of see that a lot of this is mainly focused, at least some of the heavier stuff, back towards the east near the Baldwin area here as well. Also towards the Twin Cities, where we're kind of seeing that activity kind of focused as well. I'll probably zoom out just a little bit more to kind of show you what we're dealing with. And you can see up towards the Twin Cities area, lots of heavier snow. In fact, some of the weather stations out here are measuring some light to moderate snow activity. So something to keep our eyes on here moving forward. Now, Sky Tracker will show you that some of this here coming down to the ground off towards the west around the Twin Cities area. A lot of this, though, is not necessarily going to make its way towards the east. And as we take you through the early evening hours, a lot of that activity is going to continue to remain towards the west here for us to work with, while the rest of us are just going to be looking at mainly cloudy weather conditions here to work with throughout the evening hours here, with temperatures mainly into the 30s. So we'll take you into overnight tonight. And you can see still very overcast. A lot of the snow showers kind of still remaining off to the west, associated with a weak trough of low pressure. But here's what's coming next, though. We got winter weather alerts that are currently in effect across the Coulee region in the form of winter weather advisories, winter storm watches, and of course, we have those winter storm warnings here too. Now, the Coulee region currently is under that winter storm watch until 6 a.m. on Friday. Heavy snow is possible here. Snow accumulations are likely. Wind gusts up to 35 miles an hour are also a possibility. And here's where it currently is, mainly focused across our southern states or along the southern United States. But this system is forecast to quickly take shape as it moves towards the east. We'll be on the northern extent of this low pressure system, and we'll be looking at some possible heavy snow here moving through as we head into tomorrow afternoon through tomorrow night. We'll start to see this taper here a bit as we head into early on Friday morning, but all coming to a close, though, once that low pushes away. And I do expect by Friday afternoon, conditions will be looking a lot drier. Snowfall accumulations anywhere between around 4 to 8 inches are possible. Locally higher totals also possible here too. 2 to 4 inches possible across the Chippewa Valley near the Eau Claire area through Friday. Here's a check on that 8-day forecast, and you can see that we will be looking at some drier conditions as we head into Saturday. Next best chance of snow on Sunday from our next system that will be moving through. Also notice too, Sophia, that our temperatures get much colder. We're going to drop into the 30s.
Thanks, Derek.
Yeah.
And we will be right back after the break.
It's hard.
You expect more, so thank you for watching News 8 Now.
A bowl of soup and a vote can get your next idea going, at least in Viroqua. The Viroqua. This year, community members voted to support the Okootch Mountain Club. The club's founder says she's grateful for the opportunity to kickstart a hiking club in the community.
It was amazing. I'm super appreciative of the Viroqua Chamber for doing these events and just engaging with the community and giving us a place to have our ideas out and support that.
Meyer says she'll use the funds to get the hiking club registered as a nonprofit. Stay with us. We have one more check of your forecast when we return.
Well, snow showers are likely as we head into Thursday and early Friday. Much colder after that as well.
Thank you for watching.